Welcome to Crafty Thursdays. Alright, so we're going to be doing crochet. We're doing American style, so all terms are going to be in American, not English. They are a bit different. Alrighty, so today we're going to do single crochet. And also we're going to do slip stitch, which is more of a pain to do on a chain. So we'll probably do at the end of doing a few rows of single crochet. So, like last video, we also did finger crochet and chunky yarn. So we're going to do chunky yarn, finger crochet, switch it to a hook, and then we'll do regular yarn. Alright, so chunky yarn. Today this one is the Bernat blanket yarn. I know that for a fact. And it's a lighter color so you can see stuff. However, it still kind of matches. Alright, but alright, so we need our slip knot. My brain will work. Alright, so we're going to do a finger crochet. So now with the Bernat blanket yarn, it is more of a pain to do because of it wants to catch hold. So finger crochet, chain, we'll do a couple. Honestly, the thick green that we were using last time would probably be better. Alright, so yeah, this one's really horrible. Anyhow, yeah, let's do it with the green. Just show you how to do the finger crochet single. Alright. You can go over there. But when we switch the hook, we will go back to the brown. Alright, so there is our slip knot. And there we go. Because with this yarn, I'm pretty sure it's Lion Brand. It's not trying to grab hold of itself. Because the Bernat blanket yarn, it's kind of like a towel. Kind of like terry cloth, you know? Where it's trying to grab hold of things. And it makes it a little bit difficult to do the finger crochet. Alright, so we have a chain of a couple. Now, when you do single crochet or anything past the chain, you skip this first one, because if you do anything in this, it's just going to undo. You go in the next one right here, and you go stick your finger through, grab. So now you have 2 loops on your finger. And now what you do is you pull it through those 2 loops, and now you're back to 1. So we'll go to the next one. 2, and use your other fingers, pull it through. Alright, so next loop, or next chain, 2 loops, and I'm using my thumb to go through, because when you're using a hook, you got the hook part to grab hold of the yarn. You're just using your fingers, or your one finger, your nail. It's kind of a pain. I mean, yeah, you can bend it. So, like if we were, yeah, it's not gonna happen. Alright, go a little bit more, and then I'll show you how to go to the next row if you wanted to continue doing stuff in finger crochet, which sometimes when you're out and about and you only have yarn in your bag, finger crochet is a good thing to know how to do. Unless you just want to sit there and make a knot, you can do that too. Alright, and the next one is like really big. I'm not quite sure what happened on that chain. So, okay, so there's road splits. right? Yeah. Yeah, I have a lot of balls of random yarn left over from projects, which are really good when you just need a tiny little bit, because it's kind of pointless to pull out a brand new skein if you only need, you know, like 2 rows or something. All right, so that is single crochet, finger crochet, chunky yarn. All right, so to go to the next row afterwards, I totally did not count this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So what we're going to do is chain 1, and we're going to go, we're not going to count the chain. So we're going to go back through, and same as what you just did on the chain, except for this time you go through both of the top loops, so the whole V. And you see that still, the whole V, both sides. Now, when you're following a pattern, or you want a certain feature, you can go through just the back or just the front, and then there's even more advanced places that you can put your hook through to pull yarn through, and it gives a whole bunch of different like textures and stuff, and a lot of it's cool. Just depends on what you're going for or what the pattern says, which before, by the time we get done with all of these beginner stitches, we are going to do a project. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do. I do believe we are going to do a tiny little panel thing for corner to corner, which we will get to. We'll learn how to do corner to corner, the basic corner to corner. I know there's also a half double version. Don't worry about if you don't understand what I'm saying. That does smaller squares. So, all right, so that's finger crochet of single crochet and chain, and we'll quickly do it in the brown with the large hook. See, it even sounds funny when you rip it out. For those who want to learn new terms, when you undo your work, when you're ripping the yarn back, which is so much easier to do with crochet than knitting, it's called frogging. So if anyone talks about frogging projects, and that's what it means, they have undone their project because you rip it out. All right, so slip knot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll do one more. So this one more is your up to the next row stitch. All right, so we're doing single crochet, and it's on the chain. So on this, no, we'll do it on the next one. So on the regular yarn, I'll show you. We're just going to go through one loop, go through one loop, grab one loop. You have 2, grab and through. And see, with this yarn, I probably could have used a bigger hook. When it gets like where it's really pain to work with, you have some issues. So one, I should use a bigger hook because of how my tension is. So some people could use the same hook and it could look like this. You know, same hook and have different spacing. It's how tight you hold the yarn, how well, also the material of the hook can also cause issues. It just, there's so many different factors. So if you're trying to make something and it's too big or it's too small, change things. Change your hook size, change how hard you're gripping the yarn. Sometimes it's the yarn itself, it just does not want to do what you're wanting it to do. Sometimes it just has a mind of its own. So see how squishy it is? It's all curling up. So this stuff, it makes a really warm blanket. And it's really squishy. So you can also make like a mat or rug on your carpet. Like I would suggest carpet because you'll slip and bust your butt. This is on tile or whatever version that's not carpet. But yeah, you can put this down like if you have, you know, like school carpet that's not fluffy at all. You can put this down and then you'll have something squishy to step on because it's really squishy. All right, so to the smaller yarn that most people use, this is Red Heart. I think this is cerulean blue or royal blue. I forget which. It's a very pretty blue, which you can see better with this hook compared to last time with the gold. And again, we're going to do 11 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, so on this one, you can see the bumpies a little bit better. We're going to go through the bumpies. So let's double check we have 10 bumpies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so it's that bumpy that we're going to go through. So we skip the first bumpy and go through the second bumpy. Come on, we need more yarn. No, don't run away. The downside of using balls. All right, so 2 loops, go through both. Next bumpy. And then we will look at how this looks like when you're done, because it looks different than how it did on, well, the 2 big ones. Which those look different regardless because one's with a hook and one's not. Oh, come on, go through. Another issue you have going through the bumpies. It doesn't want the hook to go in there. Also, when you're looking at hooks, you gotta remember there are 2 different styles to them. Real quick, see how this is curved? There's some where that part is in there. It's just a complete cut. So right here is just a gradual curve. On it, it's just like it stops and it's like being cut. And those I'm not really fond of. For me, the yarn just continues to get caught in it. All right, how many stitches? I think we have one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. So when you count your stitches, you count the V's. Yeah. And they kind of look like hearts. All right, so one more bumpy. 10. All right. So on this, it kind of makes it pop up, or you can see the chain at the bottom. It kind of actually looks, I don't know, it kind of reminds me of like zipper teeth. Like if you do up your zipper, you just have that nice smooth part in the middle, and then you have the side. That's what it reminds me of. All right, so 1 single crochet. We are not counting it. There are times where in a pattern it'll tell you to count the chain, so you would skip this stitch and then you would do 9 across, but we're not counting it, so we're going to do 10 across. Probably help if I count while I go. 1, 2, 3. You don't have to count. You can go back and count later. Crochet and yarn and everything else has this magic way of making things appear that aren't there, but when you go to do it, it's there. Also, you start realizing you forget how to math. Because you can count the same stitches 5 times and it'll come out different each time. 8, 9, and 10. There we go. And chain 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Also 5. When you're doing these up, if you start seeing like it's veering out as you're going up, it's going up and out, you're adding stitches somewhere. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, so here's where we first come across it. You see it kind of looks like there should be another stitch there. That's why you have to decide, am I counting or not? And then you have to, keep up with how many stitches you have. So this is only 10 stitches. It's really easy to count repeatedly. What you can do in projects, like if you're doing a really wide scarf or a blanket or something that has a lot of stitches, but you need to know where the edge is. Like this many stitches away from the edge, if you're not increasing or decreasing for any reason in this section, place a stitch marker. And stitch marker, you don't have to go buy one of those expensive plastic locking stitches. You can use safety pins because they lock into place, which is usually what I use. I use the safety pins that have the circle part at the bottom. Use them. You see them a lot for holding on like price tags. You can get those real, a big old thing of them real cheap. You can even use paper clips. You just pry it open just a smidge, slip it through the loops, and there you go. You can, turn it around a few times so where it's in the middle of it and it's not going anywhere. I also use bobby pins. Bobby pins definitely on when I'm making amigurumi, which is crocheted toys, because they're easy to slip in and out and you're not going to miss them. All right, so we got this far. We're going to do the slip stitch. All right, so first chain 1 to go to the next row. All right, so we are on the first one, okay? Now watch, you slip in, you grab the yarn, you pull out. There's 2, but you're not done. You grab that one you just pulled out and you go through. And you see how that's so much shorter than this one? Because right here, this is 1 single crochet. How tall it is. There's 1 slip stitch. It's very short. Grab, you pull through, and you pull through again. Go through, you grab, you pull through, and again. And so the slip stitch, it's like a way to do an edging, almost like a slight chain look. Because you're pretty much doing the same as you do on a chain. You grab the yarn and you go through what you have on your hook or your finger, depending on how you're doing it. And but yeah, it adds like a finishing to things. Also, if you're making things that have different heights, or you need to like tack it on real quick, you do the slip stitch. Like an amigurumi, when you need to fluctuate the height, you would do some slip stitches to lower down a section and stuff like that. But that's the slip stitch. We have chain, single crochet, and slip stitch. So there we go. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.